We are just 1 week away.
200 semi-trucks. That's how many are apparently needed to build the stage, or the theater as it's called, for the NFL draft.
Here is our 7th and penultimate 2023 NFL First Round mock draft featuring another series of blockbuster trade projections. Number 1, Carolina Panthers, Bryce Young from Chicago Bears. Based on recent reports, it appears as though the question has been answered and the Panthers know who they're going to take with the first overall pick. Frank Reich has never worked with a QB of Young's skill set and athleticism. Despite concerns about Young's size, Carolina ultimately decides to risk it all for his high ceiling. Number 2, Houston Texans, CJ Stroud. The Texans almost certainly take who remains between Young and Stroud, and quite frankly, GM Nick Caserio shouldn't have to think twice about this pick. 1 year after trading Deshaun Watson, the Texans give their long-suffering fan base a new hotshot QB to get excited about again. Projected trade alert! Number 3, Indianapolis Colts, Anthony Richardson. The Colts acquired the number 3 pick from the Arizona Cardinals in exchange for the number 4 and number 79 picks in 2023, plus a 2024 fourth-rounder. With the pick, Indy takes Florida Gators quarterback Anthony Richardson. Yes, he is a boom-or-bust prospect, but his ceiling is that of a Cam Newton-like difference maker. Number 4, Arizona Cardinals, Will Anderson Jr. Projected trade with Colts. Such a trade would work out perfectly for Arizona. They move down 1 spot and still get the Alabama outside linebacker who just so happens to be the player they need the most in this draft. And to get 2 extra draft picks out of it, yeah, totally worth it. Number 5, Seattle Seahawks from Denver Broncos, Jalen Carter. As we've said before, Carter is a tough player to project. His involvement in a January car accident that killed a teammate, Devin Willock, and team staffer, Chandler LaCroix, which led to misdemeanor charges, means Carter is unlikely to be a top 3 pick, as previously projected. This is merely a guessing game. It just feels like a typical Pete Carroll to take a chance on Carter. Number 6, Detroit Lions from Los Angeles Rams, Devin Witherspoon. Having traded 2020 first-rounder Jeff Okudah to the Atlanta Falcons, the Lions officially have a pressing need for cornerback help. There are plenty of promising young DBs to choose from, but Witherspoon's size, physicality, and ball-hawking skills make him the ideal fit in Dan Campbell's scrappy in-your-face defense. Number 7, Las Vegas Raiders, Will Levis. We're not sold on Jimmy Garoppolo being the Raiders' long-term guy. Not with his age and injury history. The Raiders stand pat here and still get the last of the Big 4 QB prospects in Kentucky's Will Levis. It's an ideal scenario for them, because Levis probably needs to sit for a year or 2 before he assumes the reins from Garoppolo. GM Dave Ziegler will have won the offseason if he gets a QB here. Projected trade alert! Number 8, Houston Texans, Tyree Wilson. In this projected trade, the Texans jump up 4 spots via Atlanta in exchange for the number 12 and number 73 picks. And with that, the Texans take Texas Tech defensive lineman Tyree Wilson. Houston's pass rush and run D have been weaknesses for quite a while now. New head coach D'Amico Ryans would love a total game wrecker like Wilson. Number 9, Chicago Bears, Peter Skoronski from Carolina Panthers. Justin Fields and Russell Wilson were each sacked 55 times in 2022, tied for the most. In other words, help wanted on the offensive line. Peter Skoronski is the most polished NFL-ready offensive tackle in this year's class. He would instantly make a difference on the Bears' anemic O-line and would thus help Fields take his game to another level. Number 10, Philadelphia Eagles from New Orleans Saints, Myles Murphy. With Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox nearing the end of their respective careers, the Eagles need to think long-term here. Clemson's Myles Murphy could be used as a rotational player while being mentored by Philadelphia's superstar defenders. This just feels like the perfect fit for all parties involved. Number 11, Tennessee Titans, Christian Gonzalez. Tennessee had the NFL's worst passing defense a year ago. Think they could use some cornerback help? Gonzalez is a pure ball-hawking specialist who could form quite the tandem in the secondary with all-world safety Kevin Byard. Number 12, Atlanta Falcons, projected trade with Texans, Nolan Smith. The Falcons, with many roster needs, were happy to trade down 4 spots for the extra pick, and they still get a game-changer on defense in Georgia linebacker Nolan Smith, who would fit nicely in Ryan Nielsen's defense. Projected trade alert! Number 13, Green Bay Packers, Paris Johnson Jr. We still believe that the Aaron Rodgers trade to the New York Jets will get done before the draft. If/when that happens, the Jets' 2023 first-rounder surely has to be part of the return for the 4-time league MVP. The Pack can't rely on aging offensive tackle David Bakhtiari to stay healthy at this stage of his career. This is a prime opportunity for GM Brian Gutekunst to groom his replacement, making Paris Johnson Jr. the logical pick here. Number 14, New England Patriots, Zay Flowers. Bill Belichick has always struggled to draft wide receivers, but that shouldn't scare him from passing on the local kid and Boston College standout. Flowers would add some much-needed game-wrecking speed and quickness in a Patriots offense that relies far too much on big-bodied receivers to gain separation. Number 15, Green Bay Packers, Quentin Johnston. The Packers have to find a new number 1 wideout for Jordan Love, and Johnston is more than capable of filling that void. Love would have a nice trio of pass catchers to work with in Johnston and 2022 rookie standouts Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs. Number 16, Washington Commanders, Lucas Van Ness. Washington might be the toughest team to project here, but it just feels like they'll want to continue adding to what is already a borderline top 5 defense. Iowa State linebacker Lucas Van Ness would bring a lot more toughness and power to a front 7 anchored by Chase Young, Montez Sweat, Deron Payne, and Jonathan Allen. Number 17, Pittsburgh Steelers, Broderick Jones. Barring a trade up or down, the Steelers should be happy to stand pat and take the best remaining offensive lineman here. Kenny Pickett has enough weaponry around him. Now, let's upgrade an O-line that is lacking in Pro Bowl level talent. Number 18, Detroit Lions, Brian Branch. The Lions have had one of football's worst pass defenses for a while now. So, why not double down on the secondary in round 1 by taking both Witherspoon and Brian Branch? The versatile Branch can play both safety and corner. The Alabama product displays tremendous football IQ and ball hawking skills that'll help limit the amount of explosive plays that the Lions give up. Number 19, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Darnell Wright. Tampa's O-line was a weakness last year, and the departures of Donovan Smith and Shaq Mason don't exactly make things easier. Per Pro Football Focus, Tennessee product Darnell Wright didn't allow a single sack in 2022. You think Baker Mayfield or Kyle Trask would like a guy like that protecting him? Number 20, Seattle Seahawks, Kalijah Kancey. Speaking of doubling down like the Lions did, if you're Seattle, why not add a second defensive lineman? Seattle got Jalen Carter earlier in this mock draft. Let's give them another stud defensive tackle in Pittsburgh's Kalijah Kancey. Number 21, Los Angeles Chargers, Jackson Smith-Njigba. Feels like Keenan Allen is playing out his final season with the Chargers, and it's time to add some youth and speed to the passing game. Jackson Smith-Njigba is a top-tier deep threat who would beautifully complement Allen and 50-50 ball specialist Mike Williams. Another weapon to keep up with Patrick Mahomes' Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC West never hurt anyone. Number 22, Baltimore Ravens, Jordan Addison. Signing Odell Beckham Jr. was a start towards making Lamar Jackson happy. One more wide receiver should seal the deal on convincing him to stay, and USC Trojan star Jordan Addison can easily fill that role. Number 23, Minnesota Vikings, Hendon Hooker. This has to be the boldest prediction of them all up to this point, wouldn't you say? The thing is it also makes perfect sense. Kirk Cousins is entering a contract year and has had more than enough time to try and take Minnesota to the promised land. Newsflash, he can't. So, many should bet on Hooker's incredible dual threat upside and have him sit behind Cousins for a year. Then, let Cousins walk in 2024 free agency and have Hooker take over that star-studded offense. Projected trade alert! Number 24, Buffalo Bills, Bijan Robinson. The Bills get the number 24 pick from the Jaguars in exchange for the selections of number 27 and number 130, plus Buffalo's 2024 third-rounder. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, the best running back prospect since Saquon Barkley joins the Bills' high-powered offense. Robinson combines forces with Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, and Gabe Davis to help Buffalo get one step closer to Super Bowl championship contention. Number 25, New York Giants, Jalen Hyatt. The Giants need some more weapons for Daniel Jones. Acquiring star Pro Bowler Darren Waller from Vegas was a nice start, but let's pencil in a wide receiver here to complete the arsenal. Hyatt is one of the top deep threats in the nation, having averaged 18.9 yards per catch in his final year at Tennessee. Number 26, Dallas Cowboys, Michael Mayer. Jerry Jones picked up Brandon Cooks at a bargain price from Houston. He is a perfect number 2 wideout to complement CeeDee Lamb, but Dallas needs a third pass catcher and tight end. Enter Notre Dame's Michael Mayer, the best all-around tight end in this class. Number 27, Jacksonville Jaguars. Projected trade with Bills, Anton Harrison. Not too many pressing needs remaining on the Jaguars roster, but it certainly doesn't hurt to give Trevor Lawrence some extra pass protection. Per PFF, Harrison allowed only 4 sacks over the 2020, 2021, and 2022 seasons. With numbers like that, the Oklahoma product would be a welcome addition to Jacksonville's leaky O-line. Number 28, Cincinnati Bengals, Deonte Banks. It's amazing what Bengals defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo has done with a defense that lacks above-average cornerbacks. Imagine if he had a capable lockdown corner like Deonte Banks to limit the opposition's top wideout. The Maryland Terrapin star had 8 pass defenses in his final collegiate season. Number 29, New Orleans Saints, Osiris Torrance from Denver Broncos. Ryan Ramczyk and 2022 first-rounder Trevor Penning could be one of the best offensive tackle duos for years to come. But the Saints could use some more help in the middle of the O-line, and that is where Torrance comes into play. Adding Torrance would give New Orleans the pieces to form football's best offensive line in short time. Number 30, Philadelphia Eagles, Cam Smith. This would be a pick made with long-term thinking by GM Howie Roseman. The Eagles fan base survived a scare when the team managed to bring back the star cornerback tandem of Darius Slay and James Bradbury. But they're both getting up there in age, and who knows how many more productive years they actually have. The South Carolina Gamecocks cornerback might not start right away, but he can be used in a rotational role while learning from 2 of the league's premier corners. Number 31, Kansas City Chiefs, Drew Sanders. The Chiefs could do a lot of things here. I wouldn't be shocked if they traded up or down from this spot, but for now, I see them taking the best remaining defensive player available. Frank Clark is gone, and the duo of Chris Jones and George Karlaftis could use a little more support. Sanders, who transferred from Alabama to Arkansas for his final NCAA season, racked up 9.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, and 5 interceptions. Another playmaking player in the front 7 to help in Steve Spagnuolo's aggressive blitz-happy defense? Sign us up for that. But which 2023 NFL draft prospect do you want your team to select? Join us in the comments section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton, and hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.